Ladies and gentlemen, this is a story that comes out of New York, newsday.com, and I'll leave the link to this article in the description box. But yet again, this is a gentleman by the name of Josiah Galloway who wrongfully served 10 years in jail for a shooting that he never committed. And he tried, like many before him and many after him, to tell everybody he had nothing to do with the shooting. He was not there, and it got pinned on him anyway. Despite the fact the description of the person they were looking for was completely different from him, he was still placed in jail for 10 years because you know what? It's easy in America to incarcerate Black men. Okay. And how do they do it? First, you set up your propaganda machine, your media, to always be against Black men, always speak against Black men, always put out the narrative that nobody is more violent than the Black man. That's how you do it. That's how it's done. So when they grab our people up and arrest them, oh, well, those people are violent and they're animals, and because of the propaganda that has been put out about us through their media from day one, since there's been a media in this country that has been done to our people. So whenever you profess your innocence, it just falls on deaf ears. Oh, you did it because, you're Black. You did it. That's usually the attitude towards us. Again, all set up and designed by the US government and all of the media outlets and all of the people that are against us too. They all are in on it, ladies and gentlemen. Exonerated man intends to sue Nassau, Hempstead Village. This man is Josiah Galloway, and he is suing them. And I'm glad. Good for him. And this is really something they all should be saying when they get out of prison after being in there for decades and you didn't do anything wrong. So this story came out September 22nd, 2018. He was actually released on September 13th, ladies and gentlemen. The Hempstead man freed last week after spending a decade in prison for a shooting he maintained he did not commit has sent notice of his intention to sue New York State, Nassau County, Hempstead Village, and other agencies for a total of $200 million. Good for him. Good for him. I pray that more of these exonerated men get out of prison and do the same thing. And see, ladies and gentlemen, this is another thing. Do you know there are states that got laws that are set up where you can't sue if you go in to prison, found innocent and let go? They rigged up the laws that you can't sue, or they put caps on how much you can sue for. You know why? Because they know they're doing this dirty stuff. You wouldn't put laws like that in place unless you know you were being dirty to people in the first place. Josiah Galloway's attorney says their client's civil and constitutional rights were violated in a pattern of wrongful arrests, especially among minorities at the hands of Nassau County, its police department and district attorney's office, and Hempstead Village and its police, according to court documents. Someone should be responsible. That's right. Somebody should be held responsible. I agree. Galloway 31 said, "The people who put me in prison should be held responsible. I said from the start, I did not commit this crime and it fell on deaf ears. That's all by design, Josiah, all by design. 2 filings were mailed out Friday on Galloway's behalf, verified claim against the state and a notice of claim against Nassau, the county's police and district attorney's office, and the village of Hempstead. And it's the Nassau County spokeswoman said the county does not comment on pending litigation. Nassau Police, the Nassau District Attorney's Office, Hempstead Police, and Hempstead Village Mayor Don Ryan also declined to comment on the notice of claim. The State Attorney General's office did not immediately respond to requests for comments. Galloway's attorneys, Thomas F. Leotti of Garden City and Joseph D. Felice of Kew Gardens, also cited the $43 million court award to John Rivesto, whatever, and Dennis Halstead after they were exonerated in 1984. Okay, so they got put away. These 2 men got put away for a rape of a 16-year-old that they never committed. And they spent 18 years behind bars, released in 2003. Yeah, that sounds about American. Yeah, that putting wrong people in jail is as American as apple pie. And we might have to look that up. Apple pie might not even be American. They probably ripped it off and stole it from somewhere else, like everything else is stolen up in here. They each spent 18 years in prison and were released in 2003 after tests on genetic material from the teenager's body showed DNA from an unknown man. Okay, it doesn't take 18 years to do that. Galloway has been convicted of attempted murder in a May 2008 shooting in Hempstead that left a cab driver permanently disfigured. A judge set him free September 13th after the Nassau District Attorney's Office verified a caller's claim that the wrong man was sent to jail. A new investigation concluded that a person already behind bars for a different conviction committed the shooting, authorities say. So they already had the real person behind bars, but they still held this man in jail. But they'll sit in your face and tell you to trust their system. Trust their system. Let the system work. The most insulting words ever spoken. The notice of claim did not mention specifics and any wrongdoing by authorities in the case, but DeFelice noted that 2 people at the trial had identified Galloway as the gunman, even though his client did not match descriptions of the shooter. DeFelice said witness descriptions used by police depiction. So listen to the way this description was given. It said the person spoke with an accent. Galloway don't have an accent. It said that the person had closely cropped hair. Well, at the time when they arrested Galloway, he had cornrows in. That's not closely cropped hair if you got cornrows in. Okay. They said the description of the suspect was tall. Galloway is really not that tall. He didn't fit nothing about the description. You would think between the high IQ cop, the high IQ prosecutor, and the high IQ judge that someone would have figured out that he didn't match this description and they had the wrong man. But no, not in America. You get put in jail anyway. And they're not going to look into nothing until decades later. Man. The notice of claim said the former inmate has suffered and will continue to suffer a stigma and prejudice because of his wrongful conviction, along with loss of employment, education, and social opportunities. Here is a young man cut down in the prime of his life and undeservedly served more than 10 years in jail because of the color of his skin, DeFelice said in a statement. It's very wrong. Nassau has shown a pattern of wrongful prosecutions, particularly in the minority community, and that needs to be corrected. Okay, so that's from his attorney, and I agree, but we know that's not going to change in America. Okay, there's a reason why when our forefathers left the plantation, they started throwing jails up all over the place and came up with the 13th Amendment. Because you know what, ladies and gentlemen, they never intended to let us go. And prison is the way they keep us separated, keep Black families divided, and keep mainly us, the same people that served in chattel slavery, our forefathers, in the prison system. It's all set up from day one for us to always be the ones in jail more than anyone else. And that ball was set in motion when they sat down and crafted the 13th Amendment because they could not make it and live without those slaves. Asked whether he was angry about his conviction, Galloway said no, rather, he's motivated to make sure no one else has a similar experience. He is now seeking a job and learning just how much of the world has changed while he was in prison. Being angry hinders you from things you might want to do later, he said. The anger slowly fades away to motivation. Good, but I'm glad he's suing. He can feel any way he wants, but I'm glad he's suing and not letting these folks get away with this dirt that they have been notoriously getting away with for centuries now in this country. And I said it in my last video, I'm going to say it in this one. The most exonerated man in America is the Black man. And that is something that's never going to change in this wicked behind society that is hell-bent on never doing the right thing. But please tell me what you think, ladies and gentlemen. You know, everybody has the right to be angry. And sitting in jail for decades for something that could have been cleared up from day one, like the description not matching, is a travesty to this man. And it just go to show you their system ain't worth a pile of dog doo. It doesn't deserve any respect. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.